News 46 is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community. News is also brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, police investigate a possible shots fired called at the middle school. A vehicle catches fire on the south end of town, and a jet ski competition will be held at Lakeside. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Courtney Solman. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, September 2nd, 2015. I'm Courtney Solman for News 46. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is investigating a report of possible shots fired near the middle school this morning. Police think the suspects may be the parents of a student at the school.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office received a complaint this morning that two individuals in an aqua blue van were allegedly firing a weapon near Rosemary Clark Middle School on Blagg Road, approximately 8 a.m. Police have located the van in the desert area near Nye Road and Lola Lane this afternoon. They are currently questioning the suspect, who denies firing a weapon. At this time, there is no confirmation or evidence that shots were ever fired. There is a language barrier with the two persons who reported the incident, according to police. As a precaution, police had two schools, Rosemary Clark Middle School and Manns Elementary School, on lockdown. According to police, witnesses reported this morning a woman who was hanging out the window of a van yelling at two people when the male allegedly pointed an unknown object out the vehicle's window. A sheriff's deputy was placed in Rosemary Clark Middle School and Manns Elementary School to help secure the campuses. Both schools were cleared and released from lockdown approximately 20 minutes after being notified. According to Undersheriff Brent Moody, the suspect did have weapons inside the vehicle. No witnesses at this time can confirm that a weapon was fired. The investigation continues. If you have any information, you're urged to contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 751-7000. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
24-year-old Jeffrey Scott and 23-year-old Derek Dusing have been taken into custody for charges relating to a battery and resisting arrest. According to the press release, Nye County Sheriff's deputies were called for a report of a battery that had just occurred at the Terrible's Roadhouse Casino. Upon arrival, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies located the suspect, Jeffrey Scott, in the parking lot. Scott refused orders from the deputies to stop. When they tried to detain Scott, he physically broke free from the deputy and took off on foot. Deputies pursued Scott, and according to police, he continued to refuse commands and attempts to take him into custody. During the struggle, Scott grabbed a hold of one of the deputies' firearm holsters. Scott's grasp was thwarted, and a more serious encounter was avoided as Scott was taken into custody without further incident. Witnesses were interviewed at the Roadhouse who identified the second suspect as Derek Dusing. Investigation revealed that Dusing had approached the victim, Jeffrey Scott, and acted like he was going to shake his hand and then struck him in the face. Both suspects began to fight. Both were arrested and transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center. And we'll be right back with your Desert View Hospital health tip.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Welcome back to News 46. Although multiple studies over the past 15 years have shown no link between the measles, mumps, rubella, or MMR vaccine and autism spectrum disorders, parents and others continue to associate the vaccine with autism. A new study examined whether or not the MMR vaccine was associated with an increased risk of autism spectrum disorders, especially in children whose older siblings already had an autism diagnosis.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Receiving the measles, mumps, rubella, or MMR vaccine has been a sometimes painful but routine part of a young child's visit to the doctor. However, there have been questions about the safety of the MMR vaccine, especially from parents who have children diagnosed with autism spectrum disorders, or ASD.
Many of them attribute their child's autism spectrum disorders to the MMR vaccine. As a result, they're not always vaccinating those kids and their siblings as readily as other parents.
Dr. Anjali Jan from the Lewin Group and co-authors studied more than 95,000 children enrolled in a large commercial health plan, following them from birth to at least 5 years of age. These children all had an older sibling enrolled in the plan. Researchers were particularly interested in children whose older sibling had an ASD diagnosis, since that puts the younger child at a higher risk for ASD.
We found no evidence of a harmful association between the MMR vaccine and autism spectrum disorders. This was true even among those children who were at an increased risk of having autism spectrum disorders by virtue of having an older sibling with ASD. We found that parents who have a child with an autism spectrum disorder already are vaccinating about 10% less than the parents of children who have unaffected siblings.
Dr. Jan says among the 95,000 children, just under 1,000 were diagnosed with ASD, about 1%, similar to the prevalence in the general population.
This study confirms the safety of the MMR vaccine using recent objective data and a very large data set. We hope that this reassures parents when they're making healthcare decisions for their children.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Using a very large objective database is important when looking at autism spectrum disorders because the condition varies so much from child to child. Firefighters and police responded to a fully engulfed truck fire yesterday afternoon off Game Bird near Pahrump Valley Boulevard. The engine compartment fire was extinguished quickly by Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and appears to be mechanical in nature. No injuries were reported as a result of the blaze. A water sport competition will be held soon at Lakeside. This morning, News 46 caught up with the founder of the event.
When we first started racing jet skis about 30 years ago, they created a closed course title, championship title by the manufacturers called the IGSBA created this. And then the bigger watercraft came out and basically they created the offshore titles, and then they created an endurance title. And since we did this and basically we were trying to go into stadiums, that's what I've been trying to do. Basically they created the arena title, and this is the first IGSBA World Arena Cup title. We have people coming from around the world, Greece, Russia, and they're all coming in for the World Finals that are in October down in Lake Havasu. So they're going to grab a title here and then grab a title down there. And yeah, we're back. It's exciting. We're going to be televised. We have one of the top TV film producers. He's been nominated for Emmys making our film, and we plan on exposing this sport that it's the safest family motorsport in the world. We've actually had one jump before, but this year we're going to have two jumps with a split option. We're looking forward for everybody in Pahrump and Las Vegas and people from around the world to come here. And like I said, we're back. This will be the first World Arena Cup title, and then this will be the 7th National Arena title that I created, but we're back.
So the public's invited. You said that it's gonna be at what time again? Both days?
We're racing on Saturday and Sunday. There's all the qualifying is starting Saturday morning, but the main events, the ones that count, are from 6 to 8:30, and then at 8:30 the music festival starts off. But we're gonna have music going all day long. But the special artists, are gonna debut at 8:30, right? And that's in the evening. Yes, it is.
And is there an entry fee?
Yeah, there's entry fees. Basically, oh yeah, and if you guys got some old 550s, 650s, stuff sitting in the garage, we have those classes now. It's $65 for your insurance for the whole year, and then it's $80 a race.
How can they contact you?
By calling me at, they can either go to the website, which is Las Vegas PWC, that's Personal Watercraft, promotions with an S.com, or you can call me at 702-292-3647.
I have to admit that looks pretty fun. And we'll be right back with more for News 46.